Clout News Network. I'm Jack.
And I'm Jared.
Today we have a special segment on the Age of Exploration, where we will be discussing the lives of two travelers, William Baffin and Alvar Nunez Cabaza de Vaca.
That's right, Jack. These explorers have had very interesting lives, and we're going to tell you all about them. Let's get the program started. We're going to start out with William Baffin. Baffin was an English navigator and explorer. He's primarily known for his attempt to discover the Northwest Passage and Atlantic to the Pacific.
Very interesting, Jared. William Baffin was born in 1584 in London, England. His background and activities prior to 1612 are either unknown or based on conjecture. He was probably born in London and appears to be of a humble birth. He was self-educated, but remarkably skilled in his profession. He wrote several accounts of his voyages, and they demonstrated some exposure to classical literature.
Baffin first appears in history in 1612 when he observed as the chief pilot aboard a vessel off the western coast of Greenland. In 1613 and 1614, he was with the Muscovy Company's whaling fleets off of Svalbard.
In 1616, Baffin again sailed as pilot of the Discovery and penetrated Baffin Bay, some 300 miles farther than the English navigator John Davis had in 1587.
He had quite an amazing life, I must say.
I agree, Jared. Wait, what's that? News just in! William Baffin is here for an interview! Let's go!
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for coming, William.
It's great to be here.
Good. Let's start out with a couple of questions. What challenges did you face during your voyages?
Well, there were many dangers at sea, including storms and high winds. It was also very cold since we were in the Arctic.
How? What were your motivations for the voyages?
Well, everyone was in search for faster routes across the ocean. And the theory was that somewhere in the South Pacific lay an undiscovered southern continent, possibly also rich in gold and spices and other trade goods.
Wow. Well, looks like our time is up. Thanks for coming. It's been great having you.
It's been amazing being here.
Great story. Next in service to the East India Company, he made surveys of the Red Sea and Persian Gulf. In 1622, during his final voyage to the Persian Gulf, sadly he was killed by an Anglo-Persian attack by a gunshot wound to the chest.
What a tragic death. Now on to Alvar Nunez Cabaza de Vaca, the Spanish traveler that was on an expedition to modern-day Tampa, Florida.
Alvar was a Spanish traveler that lived from around 1490 to 1560.
He also had a background in military and was appointed as second-in-command for the Narvaez expedition under Panfilo de Narvaez.
He was one of the 4 survivors on the expedition, out of a whopping 300 total.
Impressive.
It's impressive. He was even in a hurricane, but more on that later. Without further ado, let's welcome Alvar Nunez Cabaza de Vaca.
3 weeks later.
So, Alvar, I know that you have had a quite amazing life, but in particular, are there any stories from your expedition that you'd like to tell us about?
Well, I have seen some truly remarkable things in my life, but a few things stick out. But one of those would be seeing over 50 men die in a hurricane while on a voyage. It was pretty insane to watch.
Oh, sure wouldn't want to be stuck in that storm.
Hold on a second. Can you repeat the question?
Said I wouldn't want to be stuck in that storm.
No, you would not. My expedition was sort of a get-rich-quick situation. We were searching for gold and only 5% of what we made went to the king. However, there was a possibility of getting extremely rich, but over 100 men abandoned their mission in the first month of the expedition starting.
Well, this has been very interesting. I'm sorry, but our time for this segment is over.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Many years later, sadly, Alvar Nunez Cabaza de Vaca died of natural causes, most likely a heart attack.
A few moments later.
This has been a very interesting segment on the Age of Exploration.
Yes, it has. Thank you everyone for tuning in to CNN,
the Clout News Network.